CAIR was founded after 9/11 because they recognized that some people did something and that all of us were starting to lose access to our civil liberties.
And you can see the two towers, a huge explosion now raining debris on all of us. We better get out of the way.
I need you to stop for a second. There has just been a huge explosion. We can see a billowing smoke rising.
What are you seeing, Ashley?
Well, I saw the explosion for one.
Did you feel it?
Everybody, I can smell it.
We heard a very loud blast, an explosion. We looked up, and the building literally began to collapse before us.
We have no idea what caused this. If you wish to bring anybody who's ever watched a building being demolished on purpose knows that if you're going to do this, you have to get at the under infrastructure of a building and bring it down.
It looked like it looked sort of like the building just demolished. Smoke, clouds, clouds of smoke everywhere.
Here you see an enormous explosion about midway up in the South Tower. That's interesting from a forensic point of view. The explosion that leveled the South Tower came, it seemed, roughly halfway up, and yet it took the entire tower out.
Don, just seconds ago there was a huge explosion, and it appears right now the second World Trade Tower has just collapsed.
We have an enormous explosion now in the remaining World Trade Tower center. The second, I believe the North Tower is now gone as well. It happened the same way. The explosion started high in the building and worked its way down. I don't understand, and I would be very anxious to hear in the future the forensics of this situation. This is...
Oh my goodness.
There you see the building imploding. Do you see what's happening?
Yes.
Now,
yes.
What would cause that? I don't know.
You have to wonder if there was something else there, but we just don't know.
Yeah, we don't know, but it looks like...
And at this point, I can't imagine we're getting any word anytime soon.
I don't think... I think we're safe here at the Come on Safe Ground, Bill. I don't think this was clearly... The way the structure is collapsing, this was the result of something that was planned. This is not... It's not accidental that the first tower just happened to collapse and then the second tower just happened to collapse in exactly the same way. How they accomplished this, we don't know.
I looked up, and that's when I heard the... Pardon me. That's when I heard the explosion. That's when the second tower came down.
It was an explosion. It was way up where the fire was, and the whole building at that point bellied out.
As we were moving towards the building, we saw the top begin to blow out in a plume of smoke, and we heard the noise associated with an implosion.
I looked up at the south building, the second World Trade Center to be hit, and explosions were coming down the building. It looked as if charges had been set on each floor and they were in succession going off.
Moments ago, I spoke to the chief of safety for the New York City Fire Department. He received word of the possibility of a secondary device, that is another bomb going off. He tried to get his men out as quickly as he could, but he said that there was another explosion which took place. And then an hour after the first hit here, with the first crash that took place, he said, there was another explosion that took place in one of the towers here. So obviously, according to his theory, he thinks that there were actually devices that were planted in the building.
I spoke with some police officials moments ago, Chris, and they told me that they have reason to believe that one of the explosions at the World Trade Center, aside from the ones that may have been caused by the impact of the plane with the building, may have been caused by a van that was parked in the building that may have had some type of explosive device in it.
It was later in the morning, some say as a result of secondary and subsequent explosions, that both towers came down.
No one could have anticipated that it would happen as swiftly or as catastrophically as it did. It does lead one to wonder whether there was a secondary explosion of some kind within the building.
Do you know anything about the cause of the explosions that brought the two buildings down yet? Was it caused by the planes or by something else?
We
Second explosion.
We believe that it was caused by the after effects of the planes hitting the buildings. We don't know of an additional explosion after that.
So we're yet to determine, we've heard reports of secondary explosions after the aircraft impacted, whether in fact there wasn't something else at the base of the towers that in fact were the coup de grace to bring them to the ground.
Apparently what appears to happen was that at the same time two planes hit the building, that the FBI most likely thinks that there was a car or truck packed with explosives underneath the buildings, which also exploded at the same time and brought both of them down.
Now that's the first time we're hearing that. So two planes and explosives that were in the building, is that correct?
That is the working theory at this point. That is still unconfirmed, but that is what the FBI is going on at this point.